The town was destroyed, as if there were riots, and it turns out that I saw a newspaper that say Danny Zuko, played by John Travolta, and Sandy Olsen, played by Olivia Newton-John, were murdered for no reason at all. That must have started the riots, I thought to myself as I looked at the destroyed town. Then I saw riots from a distance, but decided not to go there because I would most likely be killed by rioters. Then I saw something weird, as if a portal, so I stepped into the portal, so it took me to another movie. It looked like a dystopian future. Okay, I think this is Mad Max, Joey said. What makes you think it's Mad Max? Mark asked. When we see all kinds of action happening ahead, but beside we could see a dead body. Oh my god, this is Mad Max because we found Max Rockus Dynasty dead, Joey said. Then Joey would look over in the distance. There were people on motorcycles headed to us. Guys, run! Joey yelled. Why? I asked. Because the toe cutter and his gang were going to run us over. We were all running until a portal appeared in front of us, and then we appeared in a city that looked like a vandalized version of Hong Kong. Okay, this must be Enter the Dragon, starring Bruce Lee, Joey said. Bruce Lee, the martial artist? I asked. Yes, Joey replied. We then walked a little and we saw a gang kill Bruce Lee's character. Oh my god, Lee's dead, Joey said. Then the gang saw us and chased us until we saw another portal and we ran up to it. We then end up in a vandalized version of Metropolis from Superman, starring Christopher Reeves. So we walked through it and it looked like a Lex Luthor had killed Superman and his guards and overrun the city. Then the guards surrounded me and make way for Lex Luthor to see us. Well. It looks like someone stumbled upon my base. Well, there's no escape now, Lex Luthor said very sinisterly. Well, I gotta find a way to escape, I whispered myself in fear. I then found a portal in the middle in front of me and stepped on the guard's foot to escaping to the portal. Once I left the Superman, it looked like it had traveled to a movie, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but as if there was a Great Depression in the town. When I was walking, I found a sign at Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory said, "Do not enter. This is a restricted area." I found this horrifying, as if Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was out of business and it was going to tear town, but that must be why the town is in deep depression, as if Willy Wonka's chocolate meant something to them. Then I saw a weird portal again. It led me to a next movie. The next movie, what I assumed to be Dirty Harry. We saw a guy get shot at what I thought was the antagonist. Harry's dead, Joey said. Then we saw the antagonist walked over to us in the gun he used to kill Harry Callahan. Guys, we gotta run. Scorpo has a gun, Joey yelled. We ran again, and we ran through yet another portal, and we ended up in a vandalized Brooklyn, New York. We must have been in Saturday Night Fever, Joey said. Just like in Greece, we found a newspaper that said Tony Marino was killed for no reason. Then we saw the riots in the distance. A portal appeared behind us, and we were like in a high school gym during prom. We were in Cary now, Joey said. Then we saw blood got poured all over the girl, who I thought it was Carrie. The other students were laughing until she started killing them with her telekinetic powers. While she was killing the students, we got sucked into another portal, and we ended up thinking what I appear was Dawn of the Dead. We saw the zombies walking towards us. Oh great, more zombies, Jim said. Then a portal appeared behind us, and we ended up in Indiana, saw aliens attacking and killing people. Okay, Close Encounters with the Third Kind. We need to get out of here, Jim said. Then another portal appeared from behind us, and then we walked through it and ended up in a Monty Python and the Holy Grail. But not like the other movies we traveled was disturbing. But for Monty Python and the Holy Grail, it looked like a medieval Neverrealm. Something you would find in the Lord of the Rings novel series by J.R.R. Tolkien. But the French taunter from the movie found us and yelled for his guards to seize us. Luckily I didn't didn't get caught, as I found another portal and stepped right through it. This one was the Exorcist, and Reagan had already killed both Damien Karras and Landscaker Murren. Another portal appeared and we walked through it. We ended up in a house that seemed to be located in Texas. We walked up to the mailbox and read SARS. "Oh my God," Joey said. "We need to leave," Joey continued. "Why, Dad?" Jeff asked. "Because we are now in Texas Chainsaw Massacre," Joey replied to Jeff's question. Then we saw Leatherface with his chainsaw come out of the entrance of his house. He would then chase us down with the chainsaw until the portals opened under our legs and we ended up in another movie. The next one was Halloween, and Michael Myers comes out of the Myers house to chase us down. Then we would run through another portal to the next movie. It was Rocky, and we could tell that it was Rocky because we were in a boxing ring. However, we found Rocky Balboa, played by Sylvester Stallone, dead on the floor as if there was an accident during the boxing match. I found another portal and stepped right through, and it would lead to the next. The next movie had me on Nostromo for the movie Alien. We were looking around being careful, hoping not to become face to face with a xenomorph. But as we got our hopes up, and a xenomorph jumped out of us, luckily we escaped because there was a portal under our legs. The next movie had us on a boat in the middle of the ocean. So I have that theory that the movie we're now in was Jaws. And we were exploring the boat and we found a shark coming at the boat ready to attack. I already fell through a portal under my legs that would lead me to the next movie. I believe this was the last movie. We traveled to Star Wars: A New Hope. We were in a spaceship called the Millennium Falcon. I found Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, Obi-Wan Kenobi dead, and around with C-3PO and R2-D2 off as they had malfunction and died. Then Darth Vader came on the ship and he wanted to kill us, but luckily we managed to get through another portal and we ended up in Elmore City, Oklahoma. "I think we must be in the 80s movies now," Joey said. "It's Footloose," Jeff said to the others. "How do you know if it's Footloose, kid?" Jim asked. "Because Ren McCormack, who is played by Kevin Bacon, is mentioned in this newspaper," Jeff replied. "It's like how Grease and Saturday Night Fever was. It said they were killed for no reason at all, and where now there's rioters," Jeff explained. "Then we entered through a portal and now ended up in a fantasy-like setting. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore," Joey said. "Seriously, Dad, do you really have to make that joke when we're now in Return to Oz?" Jeff asked. "We saw Dorothy and our other heroes in Return to Oz, who were turned to stone. The next thing we knew, we were being attacked by Wheelers and the Gnome King. Luckily, we escaped through another portal. It looked like we're in the year 1386 in Italy, 30 years after the Black Death. Gentlemen, we are now in Lady Hawk now," Joey announced. "We just walked and found dead bodies anywhere." "How could they have died?" I asked. "The Black Death must have come back from the universe," Jack said, looking around. "We entered through another portal, and it seemed like we're in a summer camp now. I read the sign that said, 'Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake,'" I read out loud. "Oh my God," Jim said. "We are so screwed," Jim continued. "Why are we so screwed?" I asked. "We're in Friday the 13th, Mac," Jim replied. "The next thing that we knew is we saw Jason chase after us. Then we ran to a portal." "Quick, to the portal!" Jim yelled. "Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Jason wasn't in the first Friday the 13th. "No time for facts. We need to get out of here," I yelled. We jumped through that portal in the movie Willow that came out in 1988, but the kingdom looked like more of a planting, and it was. Instead of the kingdom basically turned into a medieval Neverrealm and was ruled by the villain of the movie named Queen Bavamorda. "Guards, seize that fool!" the queen yelled in anger. "Yes, your highness, and we will execute him," the guards said. As soon as the guards said that, we saw a portal and ran to it. We didn't know if it would take it to a more disturbing versions of 80s and movies. So we jumped to the next portal that led to the next movie, which we had no idea what was coming. It just took me to a flight deck like movie Top Gun came out in 1986. All we saw were dead bodies of the flight crew, but none of them caught my eye. One of them was Maverick, the character played by Tom Cruise in the movie. We were exploring this disturbing version of Top Gun until I saw another portal that led to another movie. We predicted it was going to be a movie starred Patrick Swayze. And we were right. Apparently it looked like the town from the movie Dirty Dancing that came out in 1987. But when we saw the destroyed town as if there were riots, it turns out the newspaper saying that Johnny Castle, played by Patrick Swayze, and Baby Houseman, played by Jennifer Grey, were murdered for no good reason at all. We then saw that there were more riots in the distance, but I decided not to go there because we could get killed. But we did find another portal that leads to another movie. So we took that portal to see what movie we would go to next. And we saw that there were more riots in the distance, but decided not to go there because we would get killed. But we find another portal that leads to another movie. So we took the portal to see where movie we would go next. And the next one looks like a Sam de Maya's California in the year 1988. So we traveled to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It looked more like a ghost town you would usually see in a gothic horror movie, I thought to myself. As we were walking around the place, a Grim Reaper showed up. Wait, wasn't he in the original Bill and Ted? He doesn't even appear until the second movie. So what is he doing here? I thought to myself. If you came here to save the Wild Stallions and Rufus, you're too late. I killed him, the Grim Reaper explained. Well, he ain't killing us today because there's a portal right here, I said. We stepped backwards towards the portal. As I stepped in the portal, I could be wondering what movie we could be next, so I traveled to the next movie. We jumped through the portal and we were in the suburban setting to a very big house. We are in Beetlejuice, Toby said. Finally, some Tim Burton movies, Toby continued. But it looked more like a Beetlejuice disguise took over, as if a post-apocalyptic future was gothic. Then a portal appeared in front of us and we walked through it. It looked like we were in the Santa Carla, California. Okay, I kinda dig this that we're in the Lost Boys now, Jim said. Didn't you say that was one of your favorite horror movies? I asked. Yes, I did, my nephew, Jim replied. Then we saw the vampires from the movie, led by David, chase after us. Luckily, we were being sucked into the portal. The next movie took place in the town that looked like it was overcome by the Cobra Kai logo. The Karate Kid in 1984, I thought to myself. As we walked through the city, John Kreese, the leader of the Cobra Kai, defeated the Megiddo and took control of the citizens and made them part of the Cobra Kai. Luckily, we escaped them in teams, so I wouldn't become one of the Cobra Kai. We saw another portal again. So, I went to see which movie we would go next. We were in a little shop of horrors. The city from the movie was being attacked by all the plant monsters. We then saw another portal and went through it. We were now in the war games, but it looked like the town was being nuked by Russians, as if David Fitz-Lightman's game actually managed to be a war threat. We then entered through another portal, and the next one was a temple. I saw a hat lying on the ground, and I thought it was Indiana Jones in 1981. So I explored the temple and found Indiana Jones, lying dead on the ground. Who did this to you? I mumbled to myself. As I explored the temple some more, there was a portal beneath my feet, and I fell through. We ended up on a lethal weapon. Next we saw Martin Riggs and Roger Martriguy dead on the floor. Then we even saw Peter McAllister and his goons surrounding us. All of his goons, including himself, have their guns pointed at us. Luckily, a portal was under our legs and we fell through, leading us to the next movie. Next, we ended up into a vandalized Gothic town. It turns out to be a vandalized version of Gotham City from Batman 1989. It was spray painted with "The Joker was here" all over the town. Well, the boys found some that's not evacuated, the Joker said, as he snuck up on us. Crap, we're surrounded by Jack Nicholson, playing the Joker and his henchmen, I said. So Batman won't save you because he's dead, the Joker said, before laughing sincerely. We need to find a way out of here, I thought in my head. We managed to escape by stepping through the henchman's foot and escaping the music like from the movie, composed by Danny Elfman. Luckily, we did escape from the portal we jumped through. It will let me go to the next movie. When will this nightmare end? I asked myself. We ended up in a spaceship, so we were either in Star Wars or Star Trek, till we were being abducted by the Star Destroyer from Star Wars Episodes 5 and 6 in 1980 and 83. We assumed that Darth Vader was a Star Destroyer and that he destroyed the Republic. And it turns out we were right. When we saw the dead bodies of Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, Lando Calrissian, but it was all the lights go out. Scared the crap out of us until we were scared worse than ever was today. There was a red lightsaber turn on, and Darth Vader was ready to kill me. Joey took Luke's lightsaber just to fight Darth Vader. We almost died, but Joey managed to defeat Darth Vader and go through another portal to the next movie. Next thing I know, we were in Kingston Falls. We're in Gremlins now, Joey announced. Then we saw the Gremlins charge up to us. Luckily, we fell through a portal, and it ended up in Chicago, Illinois. Okay, this is the Blue Brothers now, Joey said. Look, guys, it's the newspaper, Jeff demanded. 2 brothers murdered for no reason. Jake and Elwood Blues murdered for no reason at all, and riots were happening. I read out loud. Then the portal appears and we entered through. But we were in a RoboCop now, and we saw Ed 209 murder RoboCop. We fell through another portal and ended up in Springwood. Okay, this is a Nightmare on Elm Street now, Jim said. Then we saw Freddy Krueger chasing after us. Luckily, we escaped through another portal, and we ended up what seemed to be a merged disturbing universe of John Hughes movies. The movies were Weird Science, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Breakfast Club, and 16 Candles. We see Sherman, Illinois, all vandalized, and even a lot of main characters from all those movies were dead. We then see another portal and go through it, and when we came out of the portal, we were in front of the summer restaurant that was secretly Fratelli's hideout from the Goonies in 1985. The kids from the movies were lying dead on the grass up front of the hideout. We assumed that the Fratellis already killed them because they were criminals, so we walked around town, and we found out that it was the same with the Karate Kid and those people that were turned to Fratrals. We saw a portal and walked through it, so I couldn't be killed by the Fratrals. So the next portal we went up to was a jungle, and we saw Predator from the movie Predator chasing after us. We ended up going through a portal, ending up in Evil Dead 2. We saw the dead teas and surrounding the body of Ash Williams, and then we saw another portal and entered through it. We ended up in a hallway and saw a robo-endoskeleton. The robot looked at us, and we noticed that we were in the Terminator. We got chased by T-800 before entering through another portal. We were now in Die Hard, where we saw Hans Gruber kill John McClane. We then entered through another portal and ended up in The Shining. We all knew it was The Shining because we saw an axe hacking through the door, and Jack Torrance peeked his head through. "Here's Johnny," Jack Torrance said, before we went through another portal. The next portal we went through was Ghostbusters because it was vandalized New York City. The Ghostbusters were killed by the ghosts, and as for the Echo 1, the car from the movie was pretty much destroyed. The ghost picks me up playfully before dropping me into another portal and jumped into the portal as well. We were now in E.T. because we see E.T.'s beings pushed into the limits of becoming evil and killing the scientists just to try to do some experiments on him. Then another portal appeared. We believe we got out Back to the Future, but we were in the weird version of 1985 Back to the Future. It looked more like the alternative one from the second movie. As it turns out, Biff actually took over and made a 1985 revolve around the film. Then another portal appeared and walked through it. When we got out of the portal, we were in alien-infested New York City.